Hello guys, and welcome to today's deck profile. Today we are profiling Porygon Z normal. Now let's start off with the Pokemon. Obviously this is a PZ build, so the backbone is PZ. And Snorlax. Snorlax is the best attacker in normal right now, so building a deck around him makes a ton of sense. As for the PZ, we have 60, 90, and 130 HP. To support our board getting set up, we of course play Fan Rotom. With Fan Call, we can search for 3 Pokemon with 100 HP or less, reveal them, and put them into my hand. In early game, this is an excellent attacker as well, because with cards like Jet Energy, Capture Energy, or Powerful Energy early on, if you have a Stadium in play, you can put some serious hurt on smaller guys. Of course, to support early game, there are a couple of guys you want to focus getting Fan Rotom. Of course, Porygon is one of those, but sometimes getting your draw engine online is just important. Skwovet here is the backbone of our draw engine. With the Nest Stash ability, we're able to put our hand on the bottom of our deck and draw one card. Skwovet alone is not worth too much, so of course we pair it with some other guys. Another target for Fan Call can be Bidoof, which when he evolves is Bibarel. With Industrious Incisors, it fills our hands to 5, which pairs very well with Skwovet. A draw supporter that we can't get out early but is nice to get out when we can is Oranguru. Paired with Skwovet, we can draw 3, thin our hand a little bit more, and then draw more with Bibarel. This draw engine lets you see your deck really fast and should be the backbone of almost every normal turbo deck build out there. This ensures you get a lot of stuff seen really fast. Of course, this deck is very weak to ability lock, so of course our deck has plans around ability lock if that ever comes into play. A cheeky early game play you can do with Rotom is get Bunnelby if you have a decent board setup, because with Bunnelby's Barrage Ancient trait you can use TM Evolution to double evolve your board, get up PZ really fast if you have all the parts in deck, and even evolve some of your other guys like Bibarel and a couple of our last attacker and support mons. Here is the Blissey we use in this deck. Chansey is grabbable with Fan Rotom, but Blissey here, instead of using a newer one, is the Happiness Supplement. We used to use the one with the energy moving attack, but it damage caps too easily. With Powerful Slap though, it's like a Bramble Gas late game. It's a really good backup attacker, and we play other cards to help power up Blissey late game or if you're behind. With Reversal or Counter Energy and Energy Flood, it's really easy to power up Blissey really fast, and Reversal lets you attach once to Blissey, and that is a potential max damage is a really high damage cap. I can't do math, so I'll put it on screen right now. But Blissey is just a really good guy to just have in the background. He's able to wake up Snorlax too, and in a pinch is a really good backup attacker. And here is our final attacker in the deck. Special Roll is really good, though it's per special energy card, so whenever you attach a twin energy or double colorless to this guy, it feels bad. But Special Roll is a really good backup attack and stacks really fast. With 4 special energies, that means you can KO the new whale that is coming out. It's just a really good, powerful attacker. So we have 3 really good backbone attackers in this deck, the Snorlax, Blissey, and Cinccino. Early game Fan Rotom feels fantastic, and we have a really strong backbone of a draw line. That is the Pokemon of our list. Of course, we have Bunnelby here. Bunnelby is a really cheeky last-ditch effort too. If you don't use him early to evolve your board, we have Crisis Punch in the back pocket as well, which means if your opponent is 1 prize and you have 2, if you get a cheeky Bunnelby out, you win the game. Of course, your whole strategy shouldn't evolve around getting Bunnelby out, but if perchance that happens, it feels really good. And I'll let you know, Crisis Punch has come in clutch more than once on an attacker like Blissey. which means I can guarantee a game. If I have a big Blissey build up late game, I can just put TM Crisis Punch and guarantee a win that way too. So it's a really good way to just guarantee finishing out the game too, especially with some of our attackers if they get a little scaled out late game. Now of course, this is a special energy build, so special energy is very important, and in order to ensure we can get our setup we want as soon as possible, of course we rely on the good old-fashioned tag call engine. And of course, tag call always refers to the combo of Cynthia Caitlin and Guzma Hala. These three are a powerful combo. And with Guzma Hala, we have two stadiums. The main stadium we want to go for early game is of course Artisan, but we also have Parallel to just disrupt your opponent's board a little bit. Chaotic Swell might be a better fit here because we don't run too many stadiums and we don't really care about stadium and play as long as Rotom is not attacking. But with Guzma Hala, we are able to get our choice of special energy early on, and that tends to be very, very helpful because we have a lot of little options here to choose from. Of course, we have reversal and counter for if we're behind, and those tend to be better on powering up Snorlax if we already have one energy on him, or Blissey, especially since we have 3 fairy energies here that can be used with a couple other supporters we have in deck. Here we have cards like Mina and Raihan to power up our Snorlax if our PZ engine is not online. Mina grabs a fairy energy from deck and slaps it on one of our Pokemon, and if you have access to a twin energy, that means your Snorlax is swinging. The same can be said of Raihan. Raihan puts that fairy energy back onto Snorlax, and then you're 1 energy attachment away from swinging again. So these feel really good. We have tried the Mela Fire package, it just doesn't ever pan out. This Mina Raihan combo plus PZ guarantees that you're pretty consistent attacking throughout the game. Now let's go take a look at the rest of our special energies. We have powerful energy. The plus 20 is really good and is just a decent option. It means if you put this on Cinccino, you don't necessarily have to reach as far. It's just Muscle Band as an energy, super good, should be in almost every Porygon Z list. Capture energy, if you need a little bit more time setting up your board, you start Rotom, you have capture energy, now you can get something out like Snorlax and your board set up at the same time. Jet energy is really good as well if you need to push an attacker early on, like a Bunnelby or a Snorlax if you don't have a free retreat option. Really good. Recycle you should have in your normal list. The ability to get energy back into your hand and splash it again and again. This is basically a free retreat tool if you have Skwovet on board. Being able to retreat, it goes back to hand and you can slap it back down immediately. Feels really good. Therapeutic energy. If you don't have Chansey in play, therapeutic energy keeps Snorlax awake, and an awake Snorlax is a terrible threat, I know, because I've played against it too many times and it absolutely sucks. Double Turbo, Double Colorless, and Twin Energy are the way we power up our guys really fast, and as I said earlier, paired with Mina and Raihan means you can attack without having your PZ up really fast. And of course, feels bad on Cinccino, but also powers up our attackers like Blissey really easily. Now that was a little K-Doc here, so let's slow things down and just go through the trainers we have. Once again, tag call package is super important. Raihan Mina is really good at consistently keeping your guys powered up. Winona is in this deck because even though Rotom can get guys with 100 HP or less, Winona can make sure you still get the evolutions out you need for your PZ line, for your Chansey, for your Blissey, to make sure that line still feels good, so it's still a really good fit in this deck. Ciphermaniac's code breaking feels excellent because with the draw engine of Skwovet, Oranguru, and Bibarel, you can guarantee any 2 cards you want in any moment. And of course, we have Iono in here. We don't really need the draw, but the disruption is really nice, and putting it on the bottom of the deck just feels better than any end does. Hex Maniac. We have the power of draw on our side, so getting Hex Maniac when we want to is more likely than not, and up against ability reliant decks like grass and water, and opposing normals, popping this first really helps you. And of course we have a couple of movement options to re-pop up that Snorlax and get him woken up. Birdkeeper, switch draw 3, Guzma is our choice of boss as well, and Arven here gets you an item and choice of the 3 tools we have in deck. Floatstone, obviously we need a free retreater. Even though we have recycle energy, having at least one retreat tool feels nice. And early on, if you have Arven, you can get TM Evo, or late game you can get Crisis Punch for that close out. And last but not least, we do have items. These are the cards you're going to burn to get through your deck relatively fast. Getting Guzma Hala as early as possible is really good because that gets you a special energy, stadium, and tool. So here are our options to get that as soon as possible. Tag Call is precision search, Trainer's Mail is really good and is just a card you can thin from your deck, and of course PokeGear. Rotostick probably would feel good here, but we have not put it in this list yet. Town Map, because PZ is that important, and with Arven early game, if you know something good is prized, but you're able to get a Snorlax, you can guarantee you get that missing piece like a P2 or PZ. Here is our Pokemon search. We still play Hisuian Heavy Ball, because if you know you just have a basic prize like Snorlax, you can go get it, but Town Map tends to feel really nice as well. And here is what we have for our Pokemon. We have Nest, Quick, Ultra, Hisuian Heavy, Buddy Poffin, Evo Instance, and Rare Candy. This is just a consistency engine that most decks run. It's fairly typical. Rare Candy is in here because it's super important even though we only have one stage 2. Of course, this is a Snorlax list, so we need to get Snorlax out as much as possible, so we have 2 recovery options. Night Stretcher in a pinch can get you fairy energy back to power up a man if you need to. And Rescue Stretcher, of course, not only gets you your Snorlax lifts, but if PZ goes down early, you can use it to shuffle all of PZ back into your list. VS Seeker is really good, you should just have it in every list. Field Blower, of course, gets rid of pesky stadiums and tools that your opponent keep on using, like Luxurious Cape. And against Psychic, Escape Rope is paramount, pushing ability lock out of active like Glare and Wheezing, or Wob is really good. And of course, this is a specialist, so we need that special charge so we can recycle those double colorless energies and powerful energies as needed. And that was the normal deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys all in next week's video. Bye!